Today I'm showing you guys how to make merch designs step by step. That was kind of cool, huh? What I did with my hands there. And did you notice I had a cool watch on? This is by Nord Green. They sent this to me and I'm so stoked about it. As a YouTuber, I'm not gonna lie, you do kind of get some cool stuff sent to you sometimes, and this is probably the coolest thing I've ever had sent to me. That's my coffee machine going off. Let me go grab it. Literally, when I started recording, I forgot I had my coffee machine on to make me some coffee. What was I saying? So anyway, this watch is so cool. If you guys want to check them out, their link is in the description below. I think they gave me some sort of discount code. I don't know, but it will be in the description below if you guys want to check them out. Really cool watch, real leather band and all that stuff. And it just looks cool. Anyway, let's get back to the video. I'm gonna show you guys how to make some awesome merch designs every single week, starting today. We're ready to get started now, but before we do, just make sure you guys update your Photoshop app. That way you are using the current version like I am. It's just much easier to follow along. And I'm using the graphic and web workspace setup. So if you guys want to, you just go to the top right corner. It's the middle icon, and you just go to graphic and web and you will have the same exact setup as me. I'm pretty sure at least. So now we are ready to get started. And obviously, if you don't have a document set up, you need to create a document that is specific to whatever design you're creating, right? So if you're designing a t-shirt, you wanna copy me here. So let's go to File New. And when you go to File New, you're gonna see this new document window pop up, and you just wanna make sure you're clicking on pixels and go to inches. We wanna do 14 by 18. And we also wanna make sure our resolution is set to 300. If you plan on printing, you just always wanna make sure that is set to 300. Now, if you're just sharing things on the internet, that can be set to 72, that is completely fine. So this is the design that we're gonna be creating. The first thing we wanna do is go to our new document and hit U on our keyboard. That's gonna go to our rectangle. And we just wanna hold in Shift and drag out a nice rectangle, not too big, just like this. And we can just make sure it is a black rectangle. Now, if you click on the shape tools, you can see that the color, the fill color is on the top left and the stroke. So now that we have that, we can change the color to whatever we want. So this is where you can really make any changes that you need to make immediately to that shape. If you don't see the rulers, all you have to do is press Command R and you will see those pop up. So as you can see, I can toggle it on and off, which is kind of cool. And now what I want to do is just drag out some rulers horizontally and vertically, just so it's kind of boxing in my square that I have in the center. See what I'm saying? So now we have the rulers and we can hide our rectangle. Now when we put our text down, we can basically know exactly where to place it, if that makes sense. So we're good to go on that one. If you go to our original design, you can see that we have Dream in the center and it's kind of warped, right? I'm gonna show you guys exactly how to do that the easiest way possible. So let's go back to our document now. All we have to do to add some text is hit T on our keyboard, and that's gonna go to our type tool, and then just click once. It's gonna put some lorem ipsum down, which is just gibberish placeholder text, and we can type out Dream now. I'm gonna do Command T to resize. And if you wanna change the font size, you just go to the T's on the top right here and you will see the font size in points, and you can just resize it right there. Font that I'm gonna be using today is one called Collis. I think that's how you say it. And I actually did find this online. So if you guys want to, you can just type it in and find it. I don't know the exact website, I can't remember, but if I find it, I will link it below. But now we have our font chosen and we have our Dream text typed out. The beginning of the design is already done, right? We already have the template ready to go, which is those rulers in place, so we know where to place our text. One thing I did notice is my text is a little too spaced out, so I want to change the kerning, right? So all I have to do is double click on the T icon on the layers palette where our Dream is. If I double click on that, it's gonna select the text and I can hold an option on my keyboard and I can just resize it. So that's it. Now I can make the font actually bigger, which is what I wanted to do anyway. And our goal is to fit it within this box, right? So whatever we need to do to make that happen, we'll do it. So now I have Dream, and what I wanna do is hold an option and just duplicate it a bunch of times, right? So we're gonna duplicate it and give it some space. We're gonna do the same thing and let those smart guides really help us determine the spacing. And if you don't know where to find those, you just go to View and you go down to Show and you just enable smart guides. That's all you have to do. And you have them enabled. So we're just gonna keep duplicating this until we fill up that square. I actually deleted everything and I just wanna change the kerning one more time because I feel like it's still too spaced out. So I'm gonna figure out the spacing before continuing on. Now Dream is filling up the square exactly how I wanted, and it's not perfect, but it's pretty good, right? It's pretty close. So I just wanna group everything now and make sure it is centered to my artboard. In order to do that, I'm gonna select the Dream Copy 3, which is the last copy we made, And then I'm gonna hold in Shift and then select the first copy and then do Command G, and that is going to group everything. You can also just go to this little icon here and hit the little folder and it will group everything. Let me show you what that looks like. If I hit the folder, everything's grouped, and we can name this group Dream or Dreams, whatever you wanna name it. And I'm just double tapping on the name and you can change it from there. So now we have a group with Dreams that if I toggle the little eye, it will hide it and also unhide it. Now I can center everything. So I'm gonna do Command A to select my artboard. And if you don't know shortcuts, don't worry guys. Whether you're on PC or Mac, you can do everything manually. So if you go up to Select and All, you will see what the shortcut is for your current system that you're using, whether again it's PC or Mac, it doesn't matter. So select all, and then you're just going to go up to these little alignments and make sure everything is centered vertically and horizontally, which mine is now. We're good to go. So we're not quite done though. What we need to do now is we need to go to every other copy of Dream and change it. So I want to make the first one solid and the second one outlined, if that makes sense. So I'm going to the second one, I'm going to change the fill to 0, and I'm going to add a stroke and watch what happens. I want the stroke to be 22. I think that's a good number, and we want to make sure it is a black stroke. So we're going to copy that over to the last copy, if that makes sense. We want to do the same thing to the third copy, which is our last copy. And if you toggle them on and on, you can see exactly which one you're working with. So I'm just gonna hold an Option and I'm gonna duplicate this effect over to copy 3. And then I wanna change the fill to 0. That's it. That's all we have to do. So now we have every other one with a stroke and 0 fill. Perfect, we're ready to go. What I wanna do is make a copy of this group because I wanna add a warp to it, but I don't wanna work destructively. So I just wanna add a warp to it and have a backup copy of the group in case I need to go back and redo it. So I'm just gonna do Command J. You can also right click and duplicate a group that way. But I don't do that, I just use shortcuts because I'm used to it. And then I wanna go ahead and convert this to a smart object, just like this. Now that is a smart object, so when I add effects to it, it will add it as a smart filter, and you could go back and toggle it on and off if you want. So now I can do Command T, and then right click, and we can go down to warp. You're gonna see a warp option pop up on the top middle section, and we just want to go to wave. So we're adding a wave warp, right? And we can just play with this as much as we want. Whatever you feel like doing, you could do. I don't recommend going crazy with this because I think it looks so fake. The only thing we have to do now is type out the last part, which is the outer edge text. And what did I put there? Your dreams will come true. Your dreams will come true. Hit T on your keyboard. We're gonna do the exact same thing. We're just gonna type out your dreams will come true. And this is way too big. So let's change that font size. Your dreams will come true. Okay, so that looks pretty good. We can make it a little smaller maybe. So there's a little bit of breathing room. All right, so that looks good. Now, all we have to do is basically copy the same exact spacing from the center all around the edges, if that makes sense. So we're gonna copy this over a bunch of times. Before I do that though, I do wanna add a line through the center here. Okay, so we're basically crossing it out. So I wanna make it big enough, or thick enough I should say, so it fills up the center of this text. I think that looks pretty good. So now what I wanna do is group this together and type out text or something. I don't know, we can name it whatever we want, but I'm just gonna type out text, and I wanna duplicate that a bunch of times around the entire square. So we're gonna make another copy, and then we're gonna rotate it, just like this, and we're gonna put that in place. So now I'm gonna duplicate the first one again and just drag it to the bottom since it's already aligned how I want it, just like this. And we can just make sure it is center aligned, so I'm just checking my alignment real quick. And let's go ahead and take this other one and we're gonna rotate it 180 degrees. So it's like this. Now, everything should be spaced correctly. And that's all you have to do, guys. Like literally, that is it. Our design's basically done at this point. If we want to, we can call it done, or we can add a little bit of flavor to it. Obviously, we're gonna add a little flavor to it, right? So I wanna group everything together now, and we're gonna name this final design. And I linked a texture below in the description, so you guys can actually go download it right now if you want to, and use it on this design so you can follow along. And then I'm just gonna paste it in place. And it's a little small, so I do need to resize it, just like that. I can name this texture. And what I wanna do is force it within that final design group that I just made, right? All you have to do to force another layer inside of another layer or a group is hover between them, hold an Option, and there's gonna be a little box with a down arrow. You just click once and it's gonna force it within there. And that is it, guys. That's how you make the design. And we can rotate it any way we want. Like we can go crazy, right? We can literally do anything we want. I actually like it like that. So basically rotating it 180 degrees or whatever. If you guys are interested in printing your designs on amazing blanks, go ahead and check out Bella Canvas in the description below. They have amazing wholesale quality shirts, blanks that you guys can purchase right now if you have a wholesale account. And if you don't have one, you can sign up. And if you guys don't want to buy through their wholesale section, they have a retail section now where you can buy 1 or 2 shirts, however many you want. And it's awesome because now you don't have to have a wholesale account to buy a Bella Canvas. You can wear the blanks because you love them like I do. So anyway, if you guys want to check it out, in the description below. And if you guys want to continue learning and you missed my last t-shirt design tutorial, do not worry, click right here and you guys can go watch that right now. But that's it for me, guys. Keep creating, keep being awesome. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.